Hey everybody, I'm Rob,
And I'm Allie.
and this is Camp H54. Different, huh?
It is different.
It's been a minute since we've been live.
Oh, so minutes. So many minutes.
So, life does funny things after COVID, and both of us switched up some things a little bit. Birdman Media has been around and actually relaunched a show just 2 weeks ago with Karen Rubin. State Farm. So that show stays there on Birdman Media. This show is going to be on Birdman Facebook feed, and the Birdman will stay on the Birdman YouTube, but it's going to be on the Birdman Facebook feed until we get the Camp H54 Facebook feed up and live. I get 8 people that have liked it so far. We kind of soft launched it. So we want you to go out and like that page. Once we get 100 or we have 60 days, then we can go live on that channel. We'll start basically doing lives on that channel. Allie's been pretty darn busy. This girl does like 65 jobs and raises children. And yeah. So we have an Instagram page. We started that up with Camp H54. And I want to give sort of like the base understanding of what this show is about, what Camp H54 means.
Right there, you can kind of see it.
Camp H54, yeah. So first of all, like if you're thinking we're just about to sell everything, go get an RV and travel across the United States, no, that's not this show.
Well, and that's not us. We do RV camp, and that is new to us.
And that's key to Camp H54. So the reason it came about is we had to name the RV, and then of course we had to have somewhere to.
No, Rob has to name everything.
I gotta name everything. Yeah, absolutely. My phones are named. My computer's
the cars,
named.
the computers, the kids.
The corner of my computer's showing. Oh my gosh, Allie didn't want the computer showing. Yeah. So, my lights are named,
Yeah. Everything has stickers on it if it's his. Yes.
Anyway, that's why she loves me so much.
I know it's his.
Or it's ours. It was easy to identify our kids at Universal Studios. One of them wandered off because they were labeled.
We were in all of the turkey shirts. Yes, we have a lot of fun stuff.
Anyways, at camp, you got to go and you set up your camp, and that's where you're going to home base from for that weekend or that week or that 2 weeks or whatever it is. And you got to have everything there. So you got to plan. You've got to minimize because you can't take everything, even though we have a kitchen sink. But yeah, so we want to take that mentality, first of all, with our kids, go out and do things and experience things so that they can experience the world and do it from a safe place, a home, or a home base, which is Camp H54, and then sort of bring some of that physical and that mental ability back home as well.
Yeah, and it's everyday life. It's relationships. It's being together. It's raising a family. Nowadays, I was talking to somebody where it went from back in the 50s, the one person in the family could work and it could, it was okay. And then it went to, my parent, 2-parent income. And now it's like 2 parents need 2 incomes. And it's how do you just navigate that? How do you get around? Like, we've learned a lot of things from each other and from other people. We took on camping because it was an inexpensive way to really see more. Yeah. And it's a fun way. I mean, we went from a trailer to a camper and we never took the trailer out, but that's a whole nother story.
You got to get up in a truck and travel, and we learned enough by having it to go, yeah.
Well, and it was like, I'm from a small town, and so it was my intention to get a trailer and you drop it, and then during the weekends you can go out to it, and it just the truck.
I think that works great when it's just you and your wife. When it's you, your wife, your teenage daughter, and your 2 kids.
Whew, it's a lot, but we got rid of that one. We sold that. Lucky people who got it, and now we have this incredible RV that fits our family perfectly. It's a spoiled RV. It's been spoiled. Got a great deal. And we've taken it on 1 trip so far.
2 trips. We did one to Full Hollow.
Oh, yeah.
Which is the break-in run right here in town.
That's what you want to do, too.
Yeah. And then, and this is what Camp H54 is all about. Everything's not perfect. Okay. Everybody wants to lay out this perfect world of how things perfectly start and how you learn lessons as you go along. No, we started off a hot mess. So.
Well, not at Full Hollow.
No, Full Hollow was great. We went out there. Well, yeah, but it was like
We
back
live a
home,
mile away.
back here, back home, back there, back home, back there.
There was a
I
lot of back and
I think I
forth.
put 150 miles on my vehicle that weekend,
Yeah.
and we were like 8 miles away.
Well, and we did a birthday.
Oh yeah, because true Allie style. Why just camp when we could do a full 8-year-old's birthday as well?
It was fantastic.
7-year-old.
He turned 7. It was fantastic. But it was a lot. And then he worked, and then I couldn't get some days off. So we were going to be there for what, a week, a full week. And then we had friends that were going to meet us there, and then they couldn't come. And then we had a bunch of people every night with different people coming into the campground, which was okay. But,
So let's start with that first long trip. We're like, okay, we're going to go from here to California. So RV's down in the valley because it gets super cold here.
Yeah.
And we didn't want to have to winterize it, de-winterize it, all that kind of crap, or deal with snow, which we haven't had it all this year.
No, but it did freeze.
But it froze.
8
Anyways,
degrees
RV's down in the
Fahrenheit.
valley, which is 3 hours away, 3.5 hours away. We had a Jeep that we had purchased because for a variety of reasons, we ended up with this Jeep that wasn't a brand new Jeep. So it was an old Jeep, 140,000 miles on it. It was a salvage title. And we fixed it up pretty decently. So we set it up to flat tow.
Yeah.
Okay.
True.
We took the RV down with it, took it down, drove it back. No problem.
Yeah.
Okay. Had a flat tire the morning or the evening of the day before we were going to leave. Took it in the morning, got it fixed. So we're going to drive down the valley with the little Jeep with a trailer, take the stuff down to the RV, transfer into the RV, spend one night in a hotel down there, take the RV and leave and go to California. So we left somewhere around noon. Yeah, noon. Got there about noon, maybe 12:30.
And this is for Thanksgiving,
yeah,
by the way.
Right before Thanksgiving. We were headed down to the valley. We are literally, 30 minutes out of getting to where we're at with the RV. And coming down up the last big pass, down to go back down into the valley, and the engine or something out of front goes.
It's like a rock hit.
Bam! And she goes, "Oh wow, that sounded bad. That wasn't bad, was it?" And I'm sitting there going, "Of course, I'm feeling it." So I'm like, "Oh yeah, that probably wasn't good."
We have 3 kids in the back.
3 kids in the back. One, by the way, that was experiencing sickness, motion sickness, and throwing up like crazy.
Yeah. Well, luckily we had a kitchen
phenomenal
bag.
job though, because he was doing it on the bag, and she had just complimented him.
I did. Well, we were bringing kitchen bags down for the trailer, so we had these big. You see the little head and these
garbage bags. Anyways,
yeah, it was cute.
So what it ended up finding out later is it blew the water pump out the front, which basically took the Jeep out. So we pulled down the side of the road. We're there for 3 hours. At about an hour and 45 minutes, I got somebody to come over to get them, got them over to the RV. I ended up getting the vehicle dropped off, Uber over to the RV to the hotel back to the RV in the morning, and we set on our trip.
No,
but it didn't stop us.
Tell you something about this. So our son did a fantastic job puking these big bags. Every time I'd be like, "Are you okay?" And you wouldn't see a face. You just see these thumbs up, like he's all right. Such a trooper. He got it in the bag, even with the Uber people. I'm like, "I'm sorry, my kid's sick. Don't worry." And it's like, I don't know where he's getting all this bile and stuff, because it was like a gallon. Well, every time. And so we get to the RV.
Oh yeah,
and it's the only time he missed. I was like,
in the RV.
In the RV. Yeah. It's not like I'm next to water or anything. So my 6-year-old's like, "Mom," and I'm like, and she's like, "I tried to get him out." And so yeah, that wasn't fun, but it was totally motion sickness. That was the good news.
So I've got PTSD over the Jeep, and now the next time we go somewhere, we have to drive the Jeep down to get the thing. I'll have this issue. But what we ended up doing was, the Jeep, that little thing, motor ended up no good. So we're like, crap, we got all this stuff for this Jeep that we just made it flat towable. I'm like, but the only thing we do is try to find another Jeep like it to do it. So we're looking, and everything's got like 150,000 miles on it. It's not too bad prices. I'm like, well, I might as well look on Carvana. I look on Carvana, there's one. And it looks exactly like our old Jeep.
Same year?
Same year, same color, upgraded package. So went from one level up to the better package, leather seats, heated seats. She's really happy about that. And 55,000 miles, not 150.
Yeah.
So awesome. It's all set up now. And this has been weeks to get us to this point.
Well, and it's been hard because
way more money than I wanted to have to spend.
But way more than I wanted him to have to spend. It's been difficult because when you live so far away from a metro area and you leave a vehicle down there, and then you have to go to certain places to get things taken off and put on other things. It's hard. You were down there for what, 2 nights?
I finally gave up. But I finally gave up here. It took the first Jeep. It took me 3 months to get the stuff put on it. I'm like, I'm not going through that again. Love the area. Would love to spend local, but I just don't have the time. So it took me 3 days down in the valley to get everything done. That took 3 months up here. So
yeah, and so that's why we had to do it. So it's ready. On our way to California, I just told him, I said, you know what? It's fine. We can't take it. We'll rent a vehicle. And fortunately for me,
because she works so much,
I had 5 days of a free rental that was going to expire the 31st of December.
Yeah.
So we got free rental, and that, we picked it up on Ontario, and we had a vehicle the entire time. So that was pretty awesome. But this is what ends up happening, in the community, in your life, shit breaks, and
it does.
We had to, it was a very frustrating, long day. But having a 16-year-old is very helpful. I mean, while you were doing everything and waiting with the truck, we got to the RV and she did the Grubhub for me while I was
the kids did actually phenomenal during that.
Did.
And then doing on the trip, they did actually pretty phenomenal.
Yeah.
We did some transfer stuff. So I had to take the RV, which never driven into the airport, to the rental car center to drop her off, to get it out of there. Did that fine. We were separated for a while because she had the vehicle and I had the RV. I think we went separate routes, but we made it to the place. We checked in. Mm-hmm. Awesome place. Orange Grove. I think it was Orange something.
In California.
Right there in Anaheim. Awesome place. We'll eventually do some reviews of places, but we're going to do it when we start to get a better understanding of how we're going to do it. But that place worked out great. Had a swimming pool.
And a jacuzzi. We didn't use it. I think we used it the first time we were there. We were very busy with family and running around.
We went there for her family for Thanksgiving, which, by the way, I need to go back to. We were just moving ahead, and Camp H54 is by focus on the positive. Mm-hmm. So we went to Thanksgiving dinner with a family. Awesome. I'm a grazer, so I don't really like. She'll make me a plate. If she makes me a plate, then that's the way I plate. Otherwise, I'll just graze around and graze on all the stuff that's sitting here. So I did that. And it was awesome. They had so many awesome foods. I'm sitting there going, wow, I'm going to gain like a bazillion pounds because I'm just eating, right?
Sorry.
Yeah. So I guess during the route, something happened with one of the turkeys.
The oven was broken, so it cooked on one side and not the other. So everybody but Rob knew not to eat that turkey.
I ate that turkey. So that night, I'm like, oh, God, I got to throw up. That's just what it was. And I'm like, I don't want to throw up. Should have thrown up. Instead it works. If it doesn't go this way, it's going to go that way, right? So it took me down, man. And on Friday, which we were supposed to go to a cool place for the kids and go to movies, and I was in bed at the RV.
And I was doing the cool places with kids in the movies.
All by herself, which she was a trooper.
Well, no, I was with my cousin and her kids. So we each have 3 kids, and they're around the same ages, and it was awesome. The only thing that wasn't awesome is the movie theaters. Like, I feel like you have to, like the airport, you have to go in at least an hour and a half early or 2 hours before if you're going to go in the line and get snacks and food or anything like that. This has happened to us every time we've gone down to movie theater.
We get the new ones now where you can order the food and they bring it to you. That I like.
You have to be there a certain time.
Yes,
and see,
this is true.
And that's the thing about, like, I've been in a rural area for 35 years of my life. So I don't have, like, I'm sure people in metro areas, they know this.
Well, you have to.
Duh.
And we're like,
Yeah, I'm learning still. And so far, I've missed 30 minutes of the beginning of each movie because I was only there an hour early and not 2 hours early. So, and you just stand in line forever. Now, granted, there's a lot that these theaters, in these metros areas can do to fix this. Like, me and Rob just sit there and we watch it's quality improvement waiting to happen.
Some of the inefficiencies are crazy.
I mean, it's just like, whoa.
Like, it was one kid putting together the box, and then he was putting the kids' stuff in it and then doing it. I'm like, shouldn't they have like 60,000 boxes already built? Because that's what they do when they're down. I don't know.
Yeah, and then they'll go get one thing and they'll come back, and one thing and come back, and you're just like, oh man, I could help you. I mean, I could go back there. I could have served everybody pretty quickly, but that's a background that I have. So anyway, just know that about movies. But there was a couple things that weren't fun, but the trailer worked out, or the RV worked out really well. We didn't have any stabilizers on it, so anytime somebody got up, That woke you up. But we made sure our bed was more comfortable. We made sure the kids' beds were comfortable.
The beds actually were awesome. Well, I think we did
our
well.
bed, yeah, and then the two littles' bed, but the upstairs we kind of put some stuff on there. It was a little hard for Audrey. But
yeah.
Anyways, that's what happens. You get a car, you get an RV, you start to fix it and do some things to it. And so we've been making it ours so that we can escape once in a while. And
so we've got trips coming.
Yes.
And I think the next one's Memorial Day weekend. I think.
Maybe.
And then 4th of July weekend. Yeah. Why not?
That's to Chicago, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Rob and I will have to talk about Chicago. We went another time, just real quick. We went to Chicago and it was amazing. And while we were there, like all their parks are free and their zoo's free and the zoo is incredible. And so we just want to go back and take the kids. So
we actually have 2 people watching. Holy cow. I didn't expect anybody to see it.
That's the plan. So anyway, we'll tell you all about these neat little trips that you can go on and where you can stay. But most of it's just trying to navigate the world that we live in, and offer the opportunity for our kids to have a good time and an inexpensive time. We did spoil them in California. We took them to...
I'll tell you what.
There we go.
Normally, it would have cost us twice what it cost us to go to California. We spoiled the crap out of our kids. We went to Universal Studios. And we'll get into that on another show. We're going to talk about Universal Studios and why you should do it and why when you go, you should do the VIP experience.
And when.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we've had other things that we've done before because of the age of our kids.
Oh, yeah.
And so we've gotten that.
Timing. We'll talk about parks. But going in the RV was awesome because it literally, expense-wise, cut it down. And you know what? She made a pumpkin pie in the RV.
Yeah, I made it like it was a potluck for Thanksgiving. So I had green beans, pumpkin pie, grits, and it worked out.
All made in the RV.
All made in the RV, which was awesome. But and that's the thing. We will talk about. I
said there's 2 people, and then they left.
I don't blame them. You called them out. So there's a lot. There's a lot that we'll be able to help with and discuss, and hopefully, it will help others. Kind of see and get an idea because it's different. Navigating is different. We've learned a little bit from some of the things that we've experienced. I know that we needed at least 2 days tacked on to returning and going back because we're storing our RV in Phoenix. When we drove back, we had to make sure that our RV is set to go for our next trip. So that was a whole nother 5 hours of finishing laundry, cleaning all the blankets, doing everything. But before we packed in California to get home.
Yeah, to get home. And it's funny because most people take the trip to the valley as a trip. So we took a trip to the valley to go on the trip. And hopefully it's not going to be that same way in the next trip, for the big trip, because then it'll be here. So we'll just leave. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, no, but it was fun and we got home safe eventually and on a limpy little
it made it.
Jeep.
Yep.
We drove the Jeep back and they're like, I can't believe you drove the Jeep back.
And they say they want to replace the engine, but I think I'm going to try to figure out how to get somebody either barter, trade, steal, or something to try to do just a head gasket replacement. We'll see. Yeah. But we get 2 Jeeps that look the same and we'll figure it out from there.
Yeah, I think it'll be good. But
so on this show, anything else you want to say?
No, we just have a lot to talk about, a lot of community to talk about, a lot of relationship building to talk about, a lot of opportunities with our kids. The camping thing, because you're in a tighter space with your kids, the kids came back and they were nice to each other. Like we were all in a different world. It was very relaxing, you know. The other thing that's really thankful is we are one of the families that are Starlink geniuses, basically. I have internet wherever I need to be and wherever I need to go because of this guy and how he figured it out. If you are familiar with being like rural areas, sometimes like for us, it's 3.5 hours through a canyon, a bunch of trees to get to a metro area. I have internet the whole time. I could do FaceTime. I could do all my meetings, you name it. I'm in the side working and trying to help co-pilot when needed. And the RV, we have internet the whole time there. And
the kids weren't
please.
on their tablets or
No.
their things the whole entire time. They do love playing cards as we're rolling down the roadway, which is kind of fun.
Yeah, that's the thing that is why we wanted to do this. We wanted to have a break because we both work extremely hard. We both run our own companies. We both work for different organizations, because now you need 2 parents, 2 income to make things happen. So anyway.
Cool. So that'll be it. We'll hit you every Saturday is the idea.
Every Saturday for Bill?
You don't want to do every Saturday? When will you want to do it?
Well, Saturday or Sunday. Can we do that? Just
every weekend for sure.
Yes,
and maybe occasionally a Friday. You never know.
You never know. Just we'll fit it in.
But not super long shows. And then we'll do some specials as well, where they're just produced stuff. I'll take you through the Jeeps here on a day, and then do that. But other than that, I'm Rob.
And I'm Allie.
And this is Camp H54. We'll see you next time.